don't know why they would do that to me, Paul.
#1 overall.
I should have.
The only #1 overall pick up here.
In the building.
Yeah, but
in the building.
In the building.
In the building.
Well,
So you should know a little something about that.
A lot of buildings I walk in, I'm the only #1 overall
Oh,
pick.
here
So
we
it's
go,
not.
man. We trying to give you love, you know what I'm saying? You want to just say,
So who should be the #1 overall pick, Paul?
Who got the #1 pick?
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee, right? Tennessee. Then you got Browns, and then you got Giants. That's a tough. I'll tell you who should be. Travis should be the #1 pick because I think he's going to have the biggest impact in year one than anybody else. Like, everybody's going to say, well, they're probably going to go toward the Cam Ward direction. They need a quarterback and this or that. But let me tell you, Travis is going to have the biggest impact out of every rookie in year one. And I'm telling you right now, he'll be Rookie of the Year because he's going to get the most opportunity. Who knows when he's going to camp as a quarterback, as a young quarterback, too. We all saw Caleb struggle this year, the #1 overall pick for the Bears. We saw him struggle. So it's not a given that you come in as a #1 pick and you thrive. It's not a given. It's not a given that you thrive. So, but I do know one thing. Playing defense as a corner or a receiver, I think Travis can thrive in either one of those positions and get the most opportunity.
yeah, if he went there and he was in the AFC South, I think he would have some opportunities to make plays there. But I think for Tennessee, you have the new GM, you go get your guy, you go get your quarterback right now, and you just reset the franchise, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and get it going now. I think they go get Cam Ward, as you mentioned earlier. I think they get him, and that's their guy. That's what I would do if I was Tennessee. Get your quarterback, figure out what you're going to do with Levis, if he's going to stay or move on, if there's any suitors. But go get your quarterback now and get this rolling because the AFC South, it's open, it's wide open every single year. So you need your guy.
You mentioned, Paul, being the #1 overall pick, which, clearly I was. It all depends on who's picking at that spot. Mm-hmm. So let's say, for instance, at the #1 spot, the Tennessee Titans elect to move out of that position and drop down to 4. And the New England Patriots go up to 1. Perfect landing spot for Travis. You get Drake May, an offensive weapon. You now have a corner you can play opposite of Gonzalez, which is an all-pro guy.
Yep.
You play him opposite that, and you get a locker room changing culture. So when I was drafted, Will and Paul, as a #1 overall pick, I wasn't drafted as #1 overall pick just for pure talent. I was drafted as Snack Crackle Pop coming into New York City. Right. The pizzazz. When I came to New York, the Jets, them dudes was driving SUV pickup trucks and wearing jeans made by Lee's. As soon as you blink,
Yeah, the Buddy Lee's on.
man, as soon as you blink, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
They'll tell you in a heartbeat. As soon as you blink, it was about having fun. It was about the nightlife. It was about doing all the right things to win and work your tail off and change the entire culture of the building. That's what the New England Patriots need again, right? They just need it again.
Right.
You think about Tom Brady leaving, and Tom Brady left, and the building was just an empty building, even though Bill Belichick was there. Then all of a sudden, they bring in the coach that they got rid of. Oh, God,
Mayo.
I think I'm just through a
Mayo.
They bring in Mayo to try to duplicate that, and it was just completely stale.
Well, just to bring it back, they brought in Cam for a little bit, too.
They brought in Cam to bring some of that Snack Crackle Pop to the building, and it didn't work out. I'm telling you, New England would be a perfect situation to move up to the #1 spot. If I'm Tennessee, I'm still right there to get me a quarterback. Because I don't think I think, first of all, Cleveland ain't going to draft no quarterback. Don't let them pump fake you to make you think.
Why wouldn't they, though?
Because the quarterback room is crowded as it is already.
It is.
They're not getting ready to draft no young dude because they don't have the time to develop a young quarterback and win. That's why Myles Garrett is like, get me out of here.
Because we starting over.
Because we starting over if that's what y'all going to do. So New England would be a perfect situation to move up to 1, drop down to 4 if I'm Tennessee, take my shot that Cleveland and the Giants are going to take them 1-2. Now I still get them at 1 of the 2 at 4. And I get picks if I'm the Tennessee Titans. And you get the New England Patriots and Vrabel get exactly what they want in a playmaker in Travis Hunter because they don't need a quarterback.
Yeah, because if you do move from that spot for New England to go up, now Cleveland's thinking like, okay, if we're gonna move on from Miles, then we might as well go get Abdul.
There you go.
We might as well do that.
There
So
you
I can
go.
see you now. You put them in a bind if you don't.
Now
get
you're
Abdul
talking
Carter.
draft. See,
Yeah.
that's good. Now you're talking draft. You're talking draft because look at that.
Yeah.
The Jaguars don't need a quarterback, so you know they ain't going up to get nothing.
Jets can use one.
Yeah, but the Jets would have to jump. The Jets would now have to replace the Browns or the Giants.
Yeah.
If I go up to one, the Browns, you can take that. Cool. If they want to get the Browns, then the Browns can drop down and take the Raiders spot or the Jets spot and pick up some picks and get some players. But like you said, they go get the kid from Penn State.
Right.
So why would they leave out of two if they're going to move on from Myles Garrett? They move from Myles Garrett. They pick up the kid from Penn State. They sitting in a perfect spot for him at number 2. And the Giants still stay at 3 and get their quarterback.
Yeah.
I keep my eyes on the Saints. I guess just watching this, I can see the Saints do something crazy, moving up. I can see them moving on from Derek Carr going to the Jets. I can see something like that.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting draft coming up.
Because you don't know, like anything can happen 1 through 5,
Yeah,
1 through 10.
I just laid it out though, so hopefully they're listening to what I just laid out. Moving on to the Steelers, Mike Tomlin started Justin Fields for 6 weeks before switching to Russell Wilson to finish up the season. The Pittsburgh Steelers made the playoffs, but were easily eliminated in the wild card round by the Ravens. Reportedly, Justin Fields is the answer for the Steelers as their number 1 priority this offseason. So with that being said, Russell Wilson will be on the move. So will it be a smart move to move on from Russell and keep Justin Fields, or should they keep Russell and move on from Justin Fields?
That's such a tough question because keeping Rush, you know exactly what you have. You know exactly what he's capable of. And the thing is, you're going to get some great quarterback play, but then how long can he sustain that? Justin Fields, you're still – he played well coming out the gate, but you're still trying to figure out, like, what truly is his ceiling. So you're in a bind no matter what. So I think for them, I mean, yeah, it's smart to go younger and just to find out, give Justin Fields a full season on what he can do so you can make an accurate decision. So I think for the Steelers, it is very wise for them to move off from Russell and go with Justin.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we saw what the ceiling was with Russ. I thought toward the end of the year, the Steelers just couldn't get it done. And we saw the best of what Russ can give us. And look at this. They're going to make the playoffs under Mike Tomlin, yes. But is that good enough anymore? You have to see what you got in Fields. You don't know what his upside is. You know, maybe he can get you over the hump because all we've been seeing year in and year out from the Steelers, they're one and done pretty much. They'll make it to the playoffs, physical game, and they're going home. Now with Fields, you can say, hey, man, maybe he can give us something more than what we've had in the past. Maybe he can grow. Maybe he can get better. But they have to find that out because he's still young. He still has potential. And who knows? We know. We've seen some of these quarterbacks. We saw Bryce Young have a breakout. They threw him out there this year. We thought he was done. Fields, he showed some signs of life. They went 4-2 at the beginning. Let's see what he got and go on from there.
You know, their numbers are you know, they didn't play in the same amount of games, but their numbers are pretty similar in terms of the games that they played in. I like Justin Fields. He was 4-2. You know, his passing yards was slightly under 200. Russell's was slightly over 200. They both, you know, Russell threw for 18 touchdowns where Fields had 10, and their passer rating was basically the same. I mean, when you look at it, turnovers, obviously Russell played more games, so he's going to probably have more turnovers.
Yeah, Russ played 11 games that only had 8 more touchdowns. They didn't open up the playbook for him, to his credit. You know that.
No, you mean Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
No, they didn't.
You know that.
They
we
didn't
watched
at all.
it.
They
didn't open up the playbook, and they opened it up a little more for Russ. Maybe they'll give us some confidence and open up the playbook a little bit more for Fields.
Well, Arthur Smith, to me, needs to be more creative, no matter who the damn quarterback is.
And accountable. Because at the end of the day, you still got to coach Justin Fields. Like coming out of the draft, I thought like a great fit for him would have been the 49ers. I thought he would have been ideal there. Or I thought if I was the Jets, I would have went and got him just because he's used to being in the limelight, playing at big-time schools like Georgia and Ohio State, also being, in that documentary QB1.
But it ain't over yet, though, because it's still free agency. Remember, he's a free agent.
No, correct. Yeah, correct. But if he comes back there, they got to coach him up. You look at the young quarterbacks that are playing well, it's because they are getting coached up. And Jaden Daniels, I mean, him and Cliff are cooking right now because he's actually getting coached up. Caleb struggled because he didn't get a chance to get coached up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that is, if he does go back to Pittsburgh and they do pick Justin Fields, it's going to be vital.
I feel like Justin Fields is going to be in New York in a Jets uniform, but, you know, every time I talk about a Jets quarterback, I'm usually wrong.
That's what he should have been all along.
Coming up.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.